Hi, good evening, everyone, and welcome to yet another online session, or as we call it, webinar from Sugar Mediaz. These sessions are an initiative of Sugar Mediaz for the voice industry of India. 1.5 महीने पहले, when we started, 1.5 महीने हो गए, when we started these webinars, these online sessions, हमने imagine नहीं किया था या anticipate नहीं किया था that we will receive such an encouraging response, support, love, not just from people in the Indian voice industry, but even people who are not really associated with our industry. I have been receiving a lot of messages, calls, communication from people, और मुझे एहसास हुआ कि हमारी जो ये इंडस्ट्री है वॉइस एक्टिंग की, इसकी पहुंच कितनी दूर दूर तक है, ना सिर्फ हिंदुस्तान से बल्कि विदेशों से भी कई लोगों ने मैसेज किया और लिंक्डइन पे लिखा या फेसबुक पे मैसेज किया, कई लोगों ने पर्सनली भी चैट किया कि ये तो बड़े कमाल के सेशंस हो रहे हैं, क्योंकि आई थिंक एक जनरल धारणा हमारे काम को लेकर ये है कि ये सिर्फ एक क्रिएटिव काम है और कलाकारी है, जबकि मैं हमेशा से कहता आया हूँ दैट दिस इज अ वेरी प्रोफेशनल इंडस्ट्री। और जैसा किसी भी प्रोफेशन के साथ होता है, हर इंडस्ट्री के अलग अलग पहलू होते हैं, अलग अलग फैसेट्स होते हैं, एंड थ्रू दीज सेशंस वी आर ट्राइंग टू uncover these facets, spark conversations and create awareness, and in whatever little way we can also spread education about the various aspects of the craft of voice acting. We've had very very interesting sessions till now, and आज जो टॉपिक हम लेकर आए हैं या फिर जिस टॉपिक पर वी आर गोइंग टू हैव दिस वेबिनार, ये टॉपिक देखा जाए तो क्रिएटिविटी से बहुत ज्यादा कनेक्शन नहीं रखता है, क्योंकि आप कहेंगे कि वॉइस एक्टिंग है तो लेट्स टॉक ओनली अबाउट द क्राफ्ट। पर अगर हम इसको होलिस्टिकली देखें इस काम को, तो हमें एहसास होगा कि one very important element of the business of voice acting is the element of discovery of your talent. अब वो पुराना जमाना तो रहा नहीं जब मुट्ठी भर लोग थे जो परफॉर्म करते थे और हर क्लाइंट को सारे आर्टिस्ट जानते थे और सारे आर्टिस्ट हर क्लाइंट को जानते थे। Today we are living in times where there is a plethora of talent. At the same time, आज का जो डिजिटल इरा है, यहाँ पर डिस्कवरी ऑफ टैलेंट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि ये बहुत कंपेटिटिव माहौल हो गया है। ऐसे में इट इज सो इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर एवरी वॉइस आर्टिस्ट टू हैव व्हाट वी कॉल अ मार्केटिंग एंड ब्रांडिंग स्ट्रेटजी, ताकि दैट आर्टिस्ट हैज बेटर रिकॉल, हैज बेटर वैल्यू एज अ प्रोफेशनल। किसी भी इंडस्ट्री में अगर हम देखें, मार्केटिंग किसी भी प्रोडक्ट या सर्विस का एक बहुत अहम हिस्सा होती है। हमारे काम में भी आई थिंक इट इज हाई टाइम I think it is high time that we have this conversation around marketing for voice artists in the digital age. Marketing और branding से एक बात याद आती है कि when we talk about a cold drink, सबसे पहले ज़हन में कोका कोला या पेप्सी आता है। क्या हमने कभी सोचा है कि ऐसा क्यों होता है? क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं these people have invested decades and billions of dollars in marketing their product and branding their product, ताकि आप जब भी ठंडा सोचें तो मन में कोका कोला या पेप्सी आए। उसी तरह एज अ वॉइस आर्टिस्ट कितना जरूरी है हमारे लिए टू डेवलप सर्टेन स्ट्रैटेजीज टू चार्ट आउट आवर करियर विद अ गुड डोज ऑफ मार्केटिंग एंड ब्रांडिंग स्ट्रैटेजी, ताकि ये बात नहीं हो जाए कि जंगल में मोर नाचा किसने देखा। आप कितना भी अच्छा नाचते हो, पर जब तक कोई आपको देखेगा नहीं। उसी तरह एज अ वॉइस आर्टिस्ट इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट for people to have a certain perception about you, for people to recall you, and इसी को लेकर आज का हमारा ये सेशन है, voice artist marketing in the digital age. And I'm very very proud, delighted, privileged to have two very accomplished industry professionals with me on this session, and I'm going to get them onto this broadcast in just a second, and after that we will have a small round of introduction. So please welcome एक एक करके Sumanto Ray and Sanket Matre. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for these two very very accomplished industry professionals. Hi Sumanto, hi Sanket.
Hello, good
Really
evening.
nice to see you, Darpan.
Yeah,
Nice to see
yeah,
you too,
Darpan,
Sumant.
glad to see that we have interchanged our looks.
आपकी आपकी दाढ़ी मैंने ले ली है
Uh,
और मेरा चिकनापन आपने ले लिया, but let me tell you that चिकनापन suits you more than it suits me. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have with us Sumanto Ray, who is the National Content and Creative Head of HT Media Limited, और इनके अंडर आते हैं रेडियो के सबसे बड़े ब्रांड्स जैसे फीवर एफएम, रेडियो नशा और रेडियो वन. Or Shumanto has been an industry professional in a very interesting manner. He is a multifaceted personality, and अगर मैं हमारे सेशंस की बात करूं तो I don't think there is any session जहां पर शुमांतो की opinions fit नहीं बैठते हों, क्योंकि he is not just representing the producer side as someone who hires voice artists for his own projects, but he also himself is a very prolific and accomplished voice artist, and what I recently got to know, a lovely singer. So Shumanto is here with us today to bring his perspective as a producer, as someone who is hiring voices, to discuss with us, how marketing and branding plays a role. ताकि आप जो सैकड़ों हजारों लोग इस शो को या इस वीडियो को देख रहे हैं, जो वॉइस आर्टिस्ट हैं, आपको रियलाइज हो कि प्रोड्यूसर्स को क्या चाहिए. जैसे हम अंग्रेजी में कहते हैं what do women want? यहाँ पर we are trying to understand what does the producer want. So thank you, Shumanto, for joining us. You've always been very supportive. I remember how supportive you were for us at India Voice Fest, and I thank you once again for joining us.
it's my pleasure. I love this industry. I love the work we do. I want people to know about what we do. Basically, that's what I live up to because a lot of people don't know exactly what we go through, what we do, हमारा काम क्या है. A lot of people don't know that biggest of the stars sometimes what they perform on the screen, the voice is somebody else's. So that's something. These are the secrets I want to bring it to the world and tell them, kid, dude, understand the value of sound, value of voice. That's very important. Have a voice.
Absolutely. How true. Have a voice. How beautifully put, Shumanto. And moving on to Sanket. So, Sanket, it'll be a travesty अगर मैं कहूँ कि I want to introduce Sanket Matre. So it is an absolute delight to tell the world that जिसको वो superstar कहते हैं, उसको मैं दोस्त कहता हूँ. So, Sanket Matre,
That's really
everyone.
sweet of you. Thank you so much.
Sanket is a name in the voice industry of India that needs no introduction. You know what I love him and respect him in equal measure. I love him for the person that he is, and I respect him for the way he has conducted himself as a professional. और आज का जो टॉपिक है मार्केटिंग और ब्रांडिंग फॉर अ वॉइस आर्टिस्ट, आई थिंक इसके लिए I could not have got hold of a better candidate, bigger name. Sanket obviously is a renowned voice talent, voice artist, dubbing artist. तो वॉइस एक्टिंग के हर क्षेत्र में इनका दखल है, जैसा कि कहते हैं, चाहे साउथ की जो फिल्में, ब्लॉकबस्टर फिल्मों में लीड हीरो की आवाज देना हो, या फिर एनिमेशन के लेजेंडरी कैरेक्टर्स को वॉइस देनी हो, या फिर एनिमे को इंडिया में लाने की कोशिश करनी हो. Sanket is also a photographer. For some of you who don't know that, he's a fabulous photographer. Sanket used to run his own recording studio. So he is an absolutely amazing combination of great creative and great intellect. क्योंकि in the last few years, in a very short time, Sanket has managed to market his talent and brand himself as one of India's most recognized voice actors. And आप में से कई लोग तो जानते होंगे, पर संकेत के सैकड़ों फैन क्लब्स हैं ऑनलाइन और सोशल मीडिया. एंड मतलब लड़कियां खून में खत नहीं लिखती हैं अभी तक, बाकी सब कुछ होता है संकेत. फैन आर्ट होता है और फैन क्लब्स होते हैं, फैन डब होता है और मीट एंड ग्रीट होता है. तो आई थिंक ये हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी है that Sanket has agreed to let us into the secret of marketing yourself as a voice artist. So
So
Sanket,
I'd just like to say thank you so much. You guys are both stalwarts, and just to kind of sit and have a discussion with you guys is like something I consider a privilege. So I mean, this is like like overkilling my praise right now.
हम्बल
But
हम्बल
you guys are
हम्बल
great and
सर, आपने
phenomenal.
हम्बल का डंबल जो उठाया है ये one
that is
thing, above all the compliments, one thing I would like to say is, as Darpan, we started with that, the looks we have exchanged. This guy has not aged a day, an hour, a minute. I know him for last 15 years, and 15 साल में ये बंदा बदला नहीं है. ये ऐसा का ऐसा है, ऐसी थोड़ी फैंस बन जाते हैं लोग. सिर्फ
so
आवाज नहीं, ये लुक भी है.
so जिन लड़कियों का संकेत चाइल्डहुड स्वीटहार्ट था, अब
हाँ.
उनका टीनेज क्रश भी
आज
हो
भी
गया.
उनका चाइल्डहुड स्वीटहार्ट ही है.
अब उनके उनके खुद उनके बहुत सारे चाइल्ड हो गए हैं, लेकिन इसका हुड नहीं गया अभी तक.
Lovely. So this is
Thanks so much, guys, for having me.
fantastic beginning, and we have a lot of people who have joined us, tons of them. Before we move ahead, क्योंकि फिर क्या करेंगे कि सेशन के बीच में एक दो बार we'll take a break and listen and read out some comments or address some questions. But
Sure.
before we start, I think let me just scroll through my feed of comments, and a lot of people are writing. A lot of people are sending a lot of love for Sanket and Sumanto, and thank you so much, everyone.
Thank
Please
you, guys.
stay with us, and I also want to send a shout out to my very dearest friend Kanchan Dingreja, because she is a sweetheart, and she has been last few weeks gifting me a lot of interesting mugs, coffee mugs. क्योंकि मुझे mugs का बहुत शौक है, and she's been seeing कि of late I've been doing a lot of these sessions on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. So she's been gifting me. So this is another very interesting Starbucks mug है, but इसमें मैं चाय पी रहा हूँ. So thank you, Kanchan. So this was a personal shout out. Anyway, so let's
हम भी है, हमें भी चाहिए.
आपके लिए कुछ है शुमांतो हमारे पास, जो हम आपको सेशन के एंड में देंगे. So let's start with our senior, शुमांतो. हम तीनों में सबसे सीनियर शुमांतो हैं. So आपसे शुरू करते हैं. शुमांतो, आप एक प्रोड्यूसर हैं सबसे पहले, although आप एक क्रिएटिव हेड हैं. हमारी भाषा में हम कहें तो प्रोड्यूसर हैं. You are someone, you have directed, produced, casted for fabulous content, including radio dramas and whatnot. So मेरा सवाल सबसे पहला आपसे ये है, how much of a role does perception about a voice artist play in you casting that artist? ये बहुत important question है, because this will lay the foundation for how important is marketing yourself to create that perception. Please.
दर्पण, परसेप्शन इम्पोर्टेंट है, और परसेप्शन बहुत डाइसी भी है साथ में. सो व्हाट हैपेंस इज, से व्हेन आई एम casting for any project which I want to do, I do a lot of radio dramas, as you guys know. So when I'm casting for a radio drama or something like that, so there will be certain characters जिसके लिए मैं perceived notion वाले actors लूँगा कि यार मुझे पता है this guy is like solid, or this guy is very good, and I will pick up those. But then there are certain characters जिसके लिए मैं ऐसे आर्टिस्ट चाहूँगा जिसका कोई परसेप्शन हो ही नहीं, जिसका कोई परसेप्शन एग्जिस्ट ना हो, कि मैं जानता नहीं हूँ क्या, मुझे रॉ चाहिए एकदम. सो लेकिन क्या होता है, कभी कभी आप एक परसेप्शन ऐसा बिल्टअप कर लेते हैं कि मुझे लगता है कि यार आई डोंट नो इफ आई विल बी एबल टू अफोर्ड दिस आर्टिस्ट. तो वो भी एक, इसलिए मैंने बोला ये डाइसी होता है. और अगर एकदम ही नहीं आपका, मतलब बिल्कुल जीरो निल है, फिर आपको थोड़ा सा मन में डाउट होता है कि यार शैल आई इन्वेस्ट माय टाइम इनटू दिस न्यू आर्टिस्ट, डेवलपिंग दिस न्यू आर्टिस्ट, और नॉट. क्योंकि यू नो द काइंड ऑफ वर्क, द डेडलाइंस एंड ऑल दिस थिंग्स आर सो क्रिटिकल इन आवर लाइव्स, कि उस वक्त सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम वही होता है कि टू गिव एन अपॉर्चुनिटी टू अ न्यू आर्टिस्ट इज टू हैव दैट मच टाइम टू डू दैट. सो इसलिए जरूरी तो है परसेप्शन, जरूरी तो है, लेकिन उस परसेप्शन को कब और कैसे बिल्टअप करना, दैट इज अ वेरी वेरी इंटेलिजेंट थिंग टू डू, दैट इज अ वेरी वेरी प्लान्ड थिंग टू डू. यू कैन नॉट जस्ट come out and be such a big name or such a big this thing that nobody touches you कि भैया ये untouchable है, ये हमारे बस में नहीं. So that's
what a beautiful point, Sumanto. ये आपने तो I think the opening point has itself been a sixer, क्योंकि बड़ा important point इसलिए है because this lays the foundation कि perception बनाना चाहिए, बिल्कुल बनाना चाहिए. You need to intelligently create a certain perception about you. But like you said, it's a double-edged sword. It can work against you and in favor of you. So I think this question organically leads to the next question, which is for you, Sanket, that how do you create that perception as a voice artist? So here is a producer. Sometimes he wants to hire a perceived voice. Sometimes he wants to hire someone who has no perception. How do you move on that?
So essentially, this would go somewhere in the category of how would you get discovered and what would be the best practices you could employ as a voiceover artist. Essentially, the base funda of this is be a better human being than you are. That helps on so many levels in terms of if you maintain a cheerful, a cheerful, respectful environment when you're working, you are punctual, you take direction well from the client, then suggest a second or a third option of your own take. These are factors that help in terms of what is important is not what's spoken to you when you're in the room. What is important is what's spoken of you when you've left the room. So that impression stays and you leave. So this is how you end up building these impressions, because as of now, the only way to discover you, at least in Bombay voiceover circles, would be from word of mouth primarily. So if I have a good perception of you, I'm going to recommend you to each and everyone that asks me for a recommendation. I might even go out of my way and recommend you for projects that I've heard of that are looking to cast. So as an artist, I've just done a small project and I've left. But what I've done also is I've created 5 more job opportunities before going. Just because I had a smile on my face, just because I was, respectful of what was happening, taking the direction well, I was on time, given a little bit of my input as well, and did not essentially enter with an ego of an artist. What Sumanto says is absolutely right. I mean, I could seem like an artist that is really famous and, but then it depends on how I present myself. If the first time I meet him, I seem approachable, then he knows. I mean, the name is a name, but, the guy in person is a very different, very different human being. And then I would kind of recommend him. Also, another way that I would kind of maybe change the perception I have or create a perception of myself would be by making a personal brand website. What I would have on my website is content that is, designed by me. It would highlight work that I have done. It would highlight names that I have worked with. It would probably highlight reviews from people like Sumanto who've maybe written a line or two about how they love working with me on a certain project. And when somebody, say a potential new client visits that page, they immediately see, these good things, and they leave with a sort of a positive perception. Regardless of what my name is not, am I starting out, am I already really famous or whatever, when they come there, they see what I have already placed for them to see, unlike, somebody else telling them about me or whatever it is. So these are ways that you could probably alter perception but, just being a better human being, I think, is one of the most fundamental things that
I completely agree with Sanket. See, Sanket has worked with me on n number of projects. I don't remember one project where Sanket has not worked with me, any radio drama. But my comfort level with Sanket is 13 years back when I did Ramayan, Sanket played Lakshman in that. It was a very critical role, and we auditioned, I don't know, more than 150 people. And then but then also Sanket was doing pretty well in his field. He humbly came for the auditions. He waited for my call to come, and then when we started doing that project, in the course of the project, we became friends. As he said, that being a good human being, a good natured person, is a very important ingredient in building up your perception. So that was the first time we worked together 13 years back, and till today, he has been working with me in all my projects. If sometimes I feel like in a 2-month project, there is one day, one important character where I want Sanket. it may be a very small thing for Sanket to even come and do it. But I have that confidence that if I call Sanket, Sanket won't even ask what is, and he never asks. He never asks. वो कभी पूछता नहीं कि क्या है, क्या प्रोजेक्ट है, क्या रोल है, कुछ नहीं. He will just come.
I'm going to talk to that point itself. This is also because of the kind of connection I have with Sumanto. I know that when he calls me in for a specific small project also, it is going to creatively challenge me. It is going to be something out of my comfort zone, and it is going to be something that I'm going to have a takeaway from after the project. So there is no point in asking, because it's for me, it's going to be a learning experience. The length is not important. What it allows me to do is what is important.
So that is the perception of this artist in my head.
Correct.
So what we were talking about, we started with the perception, this thing. So this is the perception of an artist. He hasn't built this perception by being very active on social media, by sending good morning messages every day. He has not built up that perception this way. He has built up the perception just out of his way of working with a director, way of working with the production house. So that is how you built your this thing. And then, of course, it all depends on how well you are in keeping relationships, how well connected you are. I always say it is not important to be on social media, it's important to be social. So वो ज़्यादा important है. तो आप कितने social हैं, हम चाहे 4 महीने में एक बार बात करें, लेकिन एक communication जब शुरू होता है तो ये इससे नहीं शुरू होता है कि यार एक काम. It is always all around. Whenever he comes for recording, he will choose a date and a time where he has at least half an hour to spend other than the dubbing portion. So we always see to it. So I also would spend time, we'll talk about other stuff, then only the work. So that is how you built up relationship. That is how you built your perception. And the जो लगन है काम करने की, जो as he said, that creatively challenged. Why would I call an artist to challenge him or her with a character? Because I know that person will love it. That's the perception in my head. Yeah, I know that person will give the best shot, something which is close to what I'm thinking about. So वो होता है. So आप वैसे आप कितना ही मार्केट कर लो अपने आप को, बट अगर आपका कनेक्शन नहीं बना है, so then it doesn't work for a longer period. Then it's a very short period.
So what both of you effectively are saying is, in a very holistic manner, one is, like Sanket said, be someone that people like to work with. I know personally many artists who are hired not because they are the greatest talents available, because they are very likable people. And I've always been saying this to all and sundry, that I need to like you as a person. When I say like, we are obviously not referring to any patronizing. We're referring to people who are good people to work with, as simple as that. So ये तो एक holistic तरीके से बात हो गई कि have a genuine eagerness towards your craft and towards maintaining relationships with people. Sanket also mentioned a very interesting practical marketing hack is that it's important to have a website. So we're talking about, again, marketing in the digital age. So आज हम ऐसे time में हैं, एक तो digital age है, plus we are in the corona age, क्योंकि यहाँ तो वैसे भी movement is restricted. So हो क्या रहा है that most of the work is happening online. You are not visiting studios as much. So when this happens, automatically the entire country opens up in terms of talent. Now a talent from anywhere in the country can try and be available, क्योंकि उनको पता है कि स्टूडियो जाने की जरूरत नहीं है, as long as they have talent. So my next question would be, which is something that a lot of people are also asking, is this is for both of you. I'll request Sanket to have a go at it first. How does a newcomer, let's talk about the marketing. So we spoke about branding. Creating a perception is more about branding yourself as someone. Now let's talk about how do you market yourself to be discovered by people. So Sanket, if a fresher, a newcomer wants to, obviously, let's understand one thing, that the benchmark here is that you know your job. So all of you who are out there, the hundreds who are watching, let's not forget one thing, that the basic foundation is you should know the job. You should know your craft. If you don't know it, no amount of marketing or branding will work. But let's say
Okay.
there is a very talented person who knows the job and he or she is looking at getting into the industry. What are your
Right.
key recommendations in terms of marketing strategy?
So there's a couple of points. If I'm specifically talking of people who are newcomers, however, they know the craft and have sort of a home setup ready that they can record from. I suggest they try sites like Fiverr, Upwork, Freelancer.in, which have freelance projects which you can do online. Why I suggest this as opposed to entering the market is because when you are a newcomer, you tend to get exploited. B, you tend to undercharge and break the market, which in a long run harms you, other artists, as well as producers. It's like a vicious cycle. What you do today is going to affect you 4 years down the line when you become a bigger voiceover artist, because at that point in time, the rates are going to be going to the person who's charging what you were charging 4 years ago. So you've essentially ruined the market. So for people who say I don't have experience, I need to get so get your reviews, get your experience from sites like these, where you can end up doing small gigs, earn money on the side, as well as maintain a good review ratio which you can then project. Secondly, what you could do is either you are reviving your voiceover career for the digital age if you are a newcomer, or you're already established. Get a website made. If not a website, I suggest a website. The only reason you might not get a website in this day and age is unless you're lazy. And I have already taken that excuse, so you guys can't say that you're lazy, because that's my excuse now. But what I have done is my website thing is in progress. It's been happening for a while. However, 1 year ago, I took a decision to amp up my social media presence. I met the marketing head for Warner at the premiere for Detective Pikachu, because I had voiced for Ryan Reynolds, and he told me I was trying to look you up online, and I couldn't really find you anywhere. What's happening? I said, nothing's happening. I've not been consciously doing anything about it. He's like, why not? Because do you know that at a corporate level, when we put out a trailer or we put out a cut of a film initially, uh, we take the reviews, the comments that come in very seriously, so seriously that they've taken corporate level decisions to change artists depending on the kind of comments that have come in. And he says, if that is the power that a name can generate, why are you not out there at least letting people know that this is you, and these are the other projects that you've done? And that kind of hit me somewhere. And so if you can't have the resources gathered around to make a website, make a profile on a social media handle. uh, uh, One word for digital marketing, the need for digital marketing is the internet. If I need to look up talent, all I have to type is popular voice male artist, popular female artist. Google will give me everything I need. If you're not listed there in that list that comes up, it's difficult for me to trace you down. If I'm a new client, if I'm a client from abroad, if I'm a client who's just moved in, if I'm a client that's starting a new company that has no relations, obviously this does not apply to people within the industry, because they know who's who within a smaller circle. If besides that, if you've done a good job, try and get a referral. Subtly suggest to the client that if there's anything, refer my name. Or if you could write a line or two about how you thought my work was, I would be able to put it up on my website or on my social media handle. Try and collect clips, if you could, of work that you think is impressive on your end. Put it up out there. Besides that, like I said, abroad, there's generally agencies that work for you. We don't have those. We have coordinators, but they specifically work for film dubs. If you're looking to do anything outside of film dubs, it's going to be difficult. Again, coordinators, good, bad, that's a different discussion altogether. However, there are casting platforms that are coming up, which are really interesting prospects. You could try approaching those. But like I said, try and earn some experience from websites which offer freelance work, but do not break your local market. And that is, I think, one of the couple of ways that you could go about starting to build your presence.
Perfect. Lovely, Sanket. So what you're saying is absolutely bang on. Before you enter the mainstream market, try your hand at the fringe market or so
Yeah.
that we may.
Yeah.
which does not really interfere with the mainstream market rates. And beautiful suggestions. Have your own website. Make sure that you have presence on social media. Make sure that your good work gets highlighted. And yes, obviously, casting website. So that's something that I'm going to come to you to Shumanto, because I know that is also one of your pet peeves, that we do not have a structured casting platform for voice artists in India. We do have a few apps and websites here and there, but we don't really have a consolidated, truly representative casting platform, which could be a great help, because we are talking about how do you market yourself so that you can be discovered. So, Sanket, these are very practical and very, very result-oriented tips that you've given, which
Yeah.
is fantastic. Shumanto, why don't you also, share your thoughts on this?
So let me give my perspective as a producer. Now, what happens is when you're, it's very important, as you said, Darpan, just before this question, you started with the question that um, first you should know the craft. Voicing doesn't mean that you have a baritone voice and you think, wow, I can do it. One, you have to understand that there are different kind of voicing. Animation is a different craft. Dubbing for films in different languages is a different craft. Uh, Voicing for ad films is a very different craft. And again, voicing for radio dramas uh, is a different craft. And audiobooks again is a very different. There are so many different uh, this thing of
Segments of
segments of voicing. So you need to first find out what you are good at. There are a lot of social media pages, like Facebook. There are a lot of voicing pages, and this and that. I'm also a part of it because I keep looking out for new
New
talents.
talent.
Uh,
Right.
but when I see what is my disappointment is as a producer, as a director, my disappointment is that people who can't even say one sentence without a mistake in diction, they are calling themselves professional voiceover artists. They're posting this thing, hi, I am a professional voiceover artist. That's a very 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 problematic thing. And the second thing is they shortchange themselves. The good ones also, they shortchange themselves. So I'm not kidding, I'm not joking. uh, it's always not I don't say that it's always about the budget you are working on. Sometimes it's a very good project and you want to just be a part of that project, and that is, you may do it for free for all you want. But when you are asked to do something very heavy and you are asked that, okay, can you do it in 50 rupees per minute? I'm not kidding, huh? This is happening. 50 rupees per minute, where you have to write also and you have to voice also. And there are hundreds of people writing, yes, we are ready. You are spoiling it for you. You are spoiling it for a lot of other people who are talented and who deserve better. There is there is a lack of good quality work, so those kind of work also comes. But you have to choose what you are doing. You cannot, again, going back to the perception, this is how the perception is built. Once you start doing 50 rupees per minute job, nobody is going to pay you anymore after 4 years.
to everything. That's also a
Yeah.
strategy, that don't say yes to everything. That's an
Don't say
important.
yes to everything. Say it's okay. It's not. If you want to do something, I'm saying do it for free if you wish, but do it in a good project which you can take it as a showreel and keep it in your showcase it to others. So that is one thing which I strongly believe, that you know your presence in social media, you can make a website, but then you should first understand that are you good enough to do that. Sanket is working on his website after 20 years of experience. So he has gained that experience and the confidence to build up a website. So, but if you are absolutely novice, you don't know the craft properly, I don't think see earlier in our days. I remember Darpan, when we started, there were no institutes, no training centers for voicing. They would be for acting, for singing, everything. But today there are good ones. You have a good institute. You are teaching. Uh, your students are doing pretty well in the industry. There are other people also. Rajesh Kawa is doing his stuff. So there are people. Ganesh is doing his stuff. So there are people who are running good quality institutes now. So it's very important to learn. You cannot come in an industry where there, as you said in the beginning, where there is like ample of people waiting for their luck to work. There's so many people today. It is not like our days where every agency would know, every studio guys would know. We would know all the recording engineers. It was that thing. We would get work from recording engineers, not even from the agency. Recording engineer would play something to the agency guy, ki, see this voice, and you would get a work. But now it is not like that. The number has increased. So it is very important that you enter the field with knowledge, with some kind of this thing, then you can make an impression. Otherwise, you can't. And then, of course, it is important to create samples. Uh, agar
Yeah,
sample
that's
hoga,
another. That's going to be my next question, Shumanto. That
yeah.
as a producer, what kind of work reel format, duration, styling do you, as a producer, expect from voice artists who are trying to get your attention?
See, the one thing is it can be in a form of video or audio. That is all okay. Audio also works. Huh? I'm telling you, audio also works. I have an audio reel. I even if for somebody who would ask me, ki, can I have your sample? So I'll WhatsApp an audio reel because a lot of people don't want to download a heavy file, a heavy video file. They don't want to waste their or invest their data into it. Everything is very this thing. So audio files are usually smaller in size. So it's very you can create a 3 minute, 4 minute audio at 5 to 6 MBs, not more than that. So in one audio file, you can have multiple. What we look into is your original voice first. What is your original voice, your texture of the voice, uh, and then we next thing is we see the variety. So can you play an older person, can you play a child, can you play a different character, can you play with languages, can you linguistically do something. So these are the things. So you can fit in these kind of things in a maximum 3 to 4 minute show reel. That is good enough. Good audio reel, I would say, good enough. So and that gives you a perfect idea. Later on, if somebody asks you, okay, can you do? See, if I like your voice in the first go in the audio reel, then I would say, okay, check, kaam kar, yeah, I'm WhatsApping you some few lines, record it in this style and send it back. Today, it is very easy that you can record it on mobile and you can send it. It has become very easy. It's not that you have to go to a studio or something like that.
Right.
So it's very easy to communicate these kind of things, and then this is the way to go ahead. I think audio reel is good enough, even if you have done a lot of videos and all these things. But uh, for only voice, audio is good enough. If you are dubbing, then you have like if you're sync dubbing, if you're doing sync dubbing, you're doing dubbing for films and all, then you have showreel which is ready, which is available. You can just put up clips and send it across. You can even send links also if you can. Again, a good way of putting it also is you can create a YouTube channel which is free of cost. You can put your stuff in there. And then, if it is just an audio, put your picture and put the audio. So then you can share a YouTube link, which is even easier for somebody to open and see the variety of work you have done.
Yeah.
So that is another way of this. SoundCloud is another way of doing it. There are different ways, but SoundCloud is somehow not very popular in India.
Correct.
But YouTube is there. YouTube har koi karta hai. You can create your Facebook page where you can put everything. Again, send a link. So sending a link is a very easy way to, showcase your work. So that's what I believe.
एक बात है शुमांतो इसमें कि what you're saying is absolutely fair, but I think there's one caveat. ये होता क्या है? It is important to develop your voice reel, voice samples, and but again यहाँ पर एक ये disclaimer डालना इसलिए जरूरी है क्योंकि like you said some time back, we have a lot of people out there who think they are voice actors. क्योंकि आज कोई entry barrier तो है नहीं, so बड़ा आसान हो गया है for any and every one of us to record a line 25 times and pick up a word from each take, stick it all together, and when you get the voice reel, you'll be like, अरे भाई तो बहुत अच्छा sound कर रहा है. तो आपको तो पता नहीं है कि ये 25 take के बाद में ही अच्छा sound कर रहा है. क्योंकि you will not be allowing that person 25 takes when he or she comes to your studio.
Correct.
So it is so important that the disclaimer is that yes, what Sumanto is saying is absolutely bang on. Develop a brief, concise, tight voice reel which showcases your voice quality and your versatility. If you are versatile, I understand many people are not versatile. That's fine. अगर आप एक ऑडियो बुक के लिए आप वॉइस सैंपल भेज रहे हैं तो बहुत जरूरी नहीं है कि आपको अलग अलग आवाजें आती हैं तो बहुत अच्छा है, नहीं आती हैं तो आपको उस क्षेत्र में ही आपको काम मिलेगा जिसमें एक ऐसी आवाज की जरूरत है. But the point here is again that while developing these voice reels is a great time-tested marketing strategy, but today in the digital technological age, it is also important to not forget that we can't cheat or we can't fool a client. You can fool them with the voice reel, but once अगर आप डबिंग की बात कर रहे हैं, आप सिंक करके घर पे तो आपने 10 टेक में कर लिया, पर जब आप उस स्टूडियो में बुलाएंगे तो तब अगर आप बौखला गए क्योंकि आपको तो एक बार में करना आता ही नहीं है, तो फिर वो वॉइस रील भी जीरो हो जाएगी अगर आप अपने काम में
and that bad impression will stick. I mean, if you're trying to make a name for yourself, that bad impression is going to stick. That client is going to not talk positively about you. It's going to spread around.
वो जो कहावत है ना,
first your prospects in the future.
वो जो कहावत है, first impression is the last impression. इसीलिए मैं ये भी कहता हूँ, जो मैं बार-बार इंसिस्ट कर रहा हूँ that you should know the craft you are getting into is, क्योंकि एक तो है कि आपने चीट करके भेज दिया ऑडियो रील, आपको एक बार चांस मिल गया, once you don't perform there, and then nobody is going to call you, and because the industry is small, so word spread very fast.
Yeah, you'd rather spend another 6 months, a year,
exactly.
But the first time you go there, you wow them, you impress them to a degree that they are like they see no alternative beyond you. That is how you should leave them.
That is how you should do it. और कहीं आपने नौसिखिए तरीके से अगर ऑडियो रील बना दिया और मैं सुन रहा हूँ, मैं पहले 2 लाइन सुन के बोलता हूँ यार इसको तो आता ही कुछ नहीं.
Correct.
उसके बाद उसके 6 महीने बाद अगर वो दोबारा ऑडियो भेजेगा ना तो मैं सुनूंगा भी, एज अ मैटर ऑफ फैक्ट. आई रिमेम्बर, अरे ये तो वही है जो श को स बोलता है,
राइट,
या फ को फ बोलता है. सो आई विल जज. सो व्हेन यू एंटर, it's basically always think that as a cricketer it's your first match, first international innings you're playing. और जब तक आपने अगर पहले इनिंग में अगर आपने कुछ करके नहीं दिखाया तो आपका इंप्रेशन गया, उसके बाद उस इंप्रेशन को लाना बड़ा मुश्किल होता है.
मैं कि सबसे जो टाइम टेस्टेड ओल्ड स्कूल तरीका आज भी जो आप लोग कह रहे हैं वो ये है कि know your marketing का तरीका. We were speaking about, आपने संकेत ने बोला कि first impression कितना count करता है. So I think what I've always seen even from the initial years of my career is the best way to market yourself कल भी, आज भी और कल भी, is to do a bloody good job. क्योंकि अगर आप बहुत अच्छा काम करते हैं, तो मैंने देखा है कि जो इंजीनियर है सामने वाला या जो प्रोड्यूसर है, वो बिना झिझक के आपको 4 लोगों को रेकमेंड करते हैं। They
बिल्कुल।
जी,
recommend 4 people without you even insisting a lot, because
एब्सोल्युटली,
they it's in their interest. But if you don't do a good job, और फिर आप दीवार पे सर मारते रहें, it will not
करेक्ट,
lead us anywhere at all. तो ये वॉइस सैंपल्स की बात चल रही है, so I have a message, I have a question from Richa Sutradhar. तो मुझे लगा कि ये बड़ा important question है, क्योंकि we need to set some things very, clear, out in the open. Sumanto, especially आप एक producer हैं, मैं खुद एक producer भी हूँ, एक artist भी हूँ. So the question is that when somebody requires a voiceover artist, uh, and let's say you send the voice sample to that person on email, and there is no communication from the other end whether they have liked the voice or not, and that's very discouraging, and we are left to think कि क्या हुआ होगा. So I have an opinion on this, and I'll request you for your opinion as well, Shimanto, but my opinion is very clear. The world does not owe it to you, and I think it's very important to set this out loud and clear to each one. The world, the producer or the client does not owe it to you. That means kahin na kahin, your work was probably not approved or not something that went through. तो ऐसे में उसको लेकर बैठ जाना कि आपने रिप्लाई क्यों नहीं किया. I think it's important to not have such stringent expectations from the other side. In
राइट,
fact, ये सोचना चाहिए कि अगर काम बहुत अच्छा होता, तो definitely I would have heard from him or her. So and there is a plethora of talent available in the market. So Shimanto, I'm sure आपके साथ ही बहुत होता होगा, because आप इतने बड़े-बड़े projects cast करते हैं. So when people are trying to market themselves, sending you samples, how does it work?
No, it happens. I face it all the time. Even if in a cooling period like this, when we are not doing any projects at this moment, I still get a lot of messages on my Instagram, on my Facebook, who are trying to connect. Uh, I do try to connect as much as I can. I do. I at least I speak, like, exchange of couple of messages. I don't think I'm so busy that I can't do that. I try to, if somebody says hi sir, I've heard your work, I've seen you, or this thing, that thing, so I communicate with them, and then jitna ho sakta hai, whatever is possible. But yes, it is difficult. See, understand, for us also, as emotionally you are. Who asked this question?
Richa Sutradhar, she's the
So,
she's a
so,
friend of mine.
so, Richa, this is for you. So, like how you are getting emotional that you didn't get a reply, understand about our emotions also. We don't like to say no. It is not a good feeling. We don't like to. What do you expect if I don't like your work or anybody's work? Shall I reply that no, I didn't like your work? Would you like that reply? You won't. That's the truth. So we have to understand. Second thing is that sending emails, again, it is also this thing. You keep sending emails to a lot of people. Sometimes people don't get the emails. Understand, this is technology. It may go and sit in the spam. People don't even know that you have sent an email. So try using other. Email is a passe. Don't depend on emails anymore. Emails is okay when you are working in an office. Uh, Try using other this thing. Try. That's why I said use your phone, use your WhatsApp, use those kind of stuff. People are more into that now. Those are more convenient than emails. Don't use emails. There, at least you know they have received the message, and then if they don't reply, you have all the haq to get angry on that producer. But sometimes it happens. Understand that it is not. I get, at least today, in today's time, I get 25, 30 audition tapes every day. For me, it is not possible to scan through everything until unless I'm working on a particular project.
Correct.
So it's very, it's this thing. Again, geography is another thing which is very important. So if you're in Delhi, suppose, if somebody is from Delhi who is watching this, or somebody is from Bangalore who is watching this, first try your local producers before aiming for Bombay. Yes, no doubt, Bombay does the most of the work. Maximum work is done out of Bombay, but you have to first try looking out for local producers, local studios, क्योंकि वहीं वहीं से आपका शोरील बनेगा. तो वो important है, because I see a lot of people who are, and I know that work is happening everywhere.
Yeah.
We know work happening from Bhopal, we know work happening from Lucknow, Kanpur. I see a lot of work because radio stations have reached so many B towns, C towns. The work is happening everywhere. So what you have to do is you have to first tap into your local market before aiming for Bombay. That will be also your trial and error and your learning phase. So do
Experience
that.
phase. Yeah.
Experience it. Do that. Try to approach your local producers. Try to work for them, and then you this thing, because it is very difficult.
The thing about a city like Bombay is, I mean, Mumbai will give you a lot more work, maybe a lot more money even, but it will not have time for you. So if you've come here as an amateur or a novice, they are not going to wait for you. They are not going to mollycoddle you. They are not going to handhold you. They expect you to do it in the least amount of time possible with the highest amount of quality that you can deliver.
Exactly.
So when you come here and if you're not prepared, it is going to hit you so hard that it will affect the way you look at the industry. And it's not Mumbai's fault. I mean, you can't blame the kind of culture there is. Every place will have their own culture, which is why it's essentially like Sumanto is saying, build your experience, hone your craft, and then hit it for the home run. Then hit everybody that you think is your dream project or dream target or whatever. But when you get
Exactly.
there can't be hesitation, there can't be fumbling and flutters and all that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I think it all boils down to one most important thing, which is work on your craft. So
Yeah,
I interact with so many voice artists, whether it is established artists or hundreds of aspiring. Sanket, you probably interact with thousands, and I'm sure we see that while there is a lot of excitement about marketing ourselves, but we don't see that much effort going into training ourselves, which is
yeah,
also so critical. So while when it comes to marketing and branding, we started out with how to ensure that you create a perception where you're not a Mr. or Miss Touch Me Not, and people like to work with you. Creating that perception takes time. Marketing, whether it's creating your own website, having a presence on social media, ensuring that you have good samples. And today, a lot of people are asking, how do we get in touch with people? So, I think the answer would be that today we are living in the internet age where people's email IDs or connections are
yeah,
on your fingertips. So the
yeah.
problem today is not about whom to connect with. The problem is what are you sending them. So
Correct.
I think when it comes to your marketing, that
I
Like
think
I,
I'll just
I'll, I'll,
add to the whole. Sure, sorry. Sumanto,
no,
you want
I
to catch?
just, I just wanted to say, like, I get a lot of these kind of messages. Sometimes people pick up the phone number from Insta handle or something, and they give you a call. You have to understand, and I'm giving you an example. Yesterday, I got a call, and I got a call at 11:30 at night. Okay,
wow.
somebody from Jodhpur called me. I said, hello सर, मैं फलाना फलाना हूँ सर, और सर मुझे वॉइस ओवर आर्टिस्ट बनना है. इस वक्त बनना है या कल सुबह तक रुक सकता है? आप 11:30 बजे किसी को आप कॉल करके,
Right.
जोधपुर में बैठे हैं आप, और बॉम्बे में किसी को कॉल करके आप बोले मुझे वॉइस ओवर आर्टिस्ट बनना है, वो क्या करेगा? What do
Correct.
you expect that person to do? How
Right.
to approach is again a very
Yeah.
important thing. You have
Yeah.
to approach in a very refined manner.
Absolutely.
Such an important point.
You बहुत important है. अगर आप एक अनरिफाइंड अनकूथ तरीके से अगर आप किसी को किसी भी वक्त अप्रोच करने की कोशिश करोगे, तो वो
Correct.
नहीं होगा. आपको पता नहीं आप क्या, like when I'm still trying to understand. I get these kind of calls a lot, but I still try to understand कि when somebody calls you and say कि मुझे एक्टर बनना है या मुझे वॉइस ओवर आर्टिस्ट बनना है, what is the answer they're expecting? आ जाओ, मैं बना दूंगा.
That is what they're expecting essentially, but I mean
so my thing is that
their expectation, no, but
that's not how it works. I mean,
that's not how it works.
What do you have to show for it? I mean, and this is true for both people trying to enter the industry as well as established artists. The question that you need to ask yourself is, why would somebody potentially hire me? What do I bring to the table? Is it a a range of voices? Is it command over different languages? Is it quality? Is it time? Is it improvisation? Know your own niche. Create a body of work aligning with that niche, present that body of work, and then stand behind that body of work and say, do you have anything that you think you can, prospectively give me as work? This is what I've done so far. That probably is an approach that you could take. If you just stand in front of somebody and say, "Meko banne ka hai," so I mean, there's no, like you said, I mean, it's just a blank expression that you can offer them. There's nothing more beyond that. I mean.
Yeah, that's another distinct. Then you don't have a right to get disheartened.
Correct.
You don't have a right to get disheartened because you haven't put in your efforts.
Right.
Just picking up a number and giving a call is not effort. What are you putting in?
Especially in this day and age. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off. Especially in this day and age, because you mentioned, people like Darrpan, Asif, Raju, there are so many institutes that have been running. There are so many online courses you can do. Even if we are speaking in terms of making a demo, and this was something that I'd written in terms of good practices that we were going to discuss, both again for people who are trying to enter the industry as well as established artists, make a good demo, keep upgrading your demo. What happens is you have a demo that's 5 years old, your voice has changed, or you can do a lot more new things. You've done brilliant projects, but they are not updated in your demo. So you're not sending them out. Secondly, what I mean by updating your demo is it's really easy to get support from a studio by sending them a raw file, asking them to mix it, asking them to slap music as per the emotion in the file, and sending it back to you, because that immediately makes it refined. It's like a matter of hours, and you'll get a much better finished product in your hand.
No,
also, another thing
Sanket,
that I mean
Sanket, I will just interrupt you. Like nowadays, there are very, very nice, easy softwares which you can.
Phone apps that you can use. Exactly.
Phone apps. You can do it in your phone apps.
Correct.
Right now we are working from home. I'm dubbing most of my radio stuff on my phone.
Right.
And in a very high quality. I use these headphones and on my phone.
So that is exactly what I was getting to is, now in terms of this lockdown, what I mean by upgrading yourself is essentially creating voice samples in your home setup and having them ready. Creating a raw file with your home setup sample, creating a room ambience file, which means not talking for a minute and just letting, recording your room ambience, and then probably having a finished file which a client has already used, processed, and used in a final project. These three files are very essential that you have on you right now, because in this lockdown period, nobody is interested in what you did 3 years ago. What they're interested in is what is the quality of product that you can deliver from your house right now. So things like these are something that you can do from your house. So you need to have at least these three files on you, if nothing else, to be able to send to potential clients.
And if you're on social media, if you're on groups like these kind of groups, keep posting your work.
Yeah.
If you are not doing anything, then create something for yourself.
Yeah.
Create something for yourself. Do a poetry, do a story, do something, and put it on the social media groups I'm talking about, because then in those groups we all are part of those groups, and we appreciate each other's work. When we see, we will definitely see, okay, it looks like an interesting thing to this thing. We take a break from our work and we listen to it. So
that is also a good self-improvement exercise. I mean,
exactly.
In a time when you're doing lesser and lesser work and losing grasp of your fundamentals, coming back to it and trying to do something even from your home is something that is going to keep you connected to the craft and help you hone it in these times.
And
Yes,
one
it's
more
right.
very important thing is that you need to understand that you should learn to appreciate criticism more than applause.
How important is that? Yes.
इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज आधी हवा जो है ना बलून में तब भर जाती है जब आपके घर वाले और आपके दोस्त बोलते हैं वाह यू साउंड लाइक अमिताभ बच्चन. उसके बाद जब आप माइक के सामने आते हो तो इट्स अ कंप्लीट डिफरेंट पिक्चर ऑल टुगेदर. टेक क्रिटिसिज्म, आस्क. मैं तो कहता हूँ गो फॉरवर्ड, गो अ स्टेप अहेड एंड आस्क फॉर क्रिटिसिज्म कि प्लीज मुझे कमियां बताइए. And those are the kind of people who actually make their mark because they are ready to improve all the time. I still do the practice. I still practice my voicing. This thing, I do my voice exercises. Uh, I sing. I try to keep my voice active so that my range doesn't go, because with age your range goes away. With
Right.
age your range doesn't open, and then after a certain age your range starts going back. So it's a very small window of 15-20 years where I think we got disconnected
I
with
think so.
Sanket.
No,
Huh.
we'll get it back. We'll get it back in just a minute.
So that's the period, that 15-20 years your voice flexibility is to the maximum. You have to
Absolutely.
make maximum use of that. So you need to understand, you need to practice, you need to give time to yourself, your craft. The more you love your craft, the more you are honest and hardworking towards your craft, there is no way that people are not going to notice you.
Yeah,
People
and
notice these
perseverance
things.
is finally, marketing. When we talk about marketing yourself as a voice artist, perseverance is so important. You can't get disheartened. You've got to. So, marketing as a voice artist, I look at it as an investment. So,
Exactly.
marketing is an investment in your branding. In a way, finally, the more, जैसे हम अंग्रेजी में हिंदी में कहते हैं, जो दिखता है वो बिकता है.
Hmm.
So, although it is an audio, world, but you need to be seen. You need to be in people's mind. And this is applicable even to established artists, Shumanta. Today
Yeah, yeah, of course, of
is
course.
a time where suddenly the world has changed, and I've been telling a lot of my own colleagues that you need to adapt, change. You can't stay away from technology.
Yeah,
You
out
can't.
of sight is out of mind. Out of
Absolutely.
sight is out of mind. It's very simple. In today's world, out of sight is out of mind.
So
Aap,
that's important marketing.
yeah, yeah,
Thing. You need to be in people's mind.
that's true. We lost you in between.
Sanket,
Yeah.
we lost you. Right, you're back. Sanket, you built up a very, very strong social media presence, very strong, unprecedented presence when it comes to an Indian voice actor. So why don't you take us through some of your key learnings, because there are so many people who are watching. They might learn
Sure.
something that you probably did right, and something that you think people should not do. So
Sure. Um, Honestly, these will be a collection of maybe mistakes that I've made, maybe behavioral patterns that I've had to kind of overcome. So what started off was just an exercise. Like I said, the I spoke to this marketing head from WB and he told me about it, and I said, okay, let me just at least get on a platform wherein I can start putting out my work. Uh, and it will be a good place to interact with people who want to talk to me, because what was happening, just like Sumanto said, people were getting phone numbers from somewhere. They would call at erratic hours just to say ki sir aapka ye film dekha, mujhe bahut maza aaya, but it would be 2 in the morning and I had no clue what to say. So I said, if this is a platform that will help them to ask me questions, I can answer them at my own time. And that is how it began. Exactly 1 year ago in June last year, that's when I had about I don't know, 600-700 followers on Instagram, I think. And uh, I'm just going to be honest about it. I was pretty overwhelmed with the entire prospect because I'm quite an introvert. I don't talking to people and all of that is not something that comes easy, in spite of me being a voiceover artist. So what I did was, thankfully at that point in time, I had a cousin who started a digital marketing company. I got in touch with her, asked her, how to go about it. In fact, hired their services professionally. And my brief was clear. I did not need to show a large amount of followers to anybody. This was a personal project. However, I just needed it to be handled in a way that the questions would be streamlined and sent to me so I could answer them and I don't miss out anything. And the posts are organic in the sense that I could pre-plan for things and kind of put them out one at a time, so somebody else could do that for me. And this helped immensely. As of now, I'm standing on, I think, 28,000 people. It's been a year, completely organic. And I'm going to tell you, what I learned along the process was, I kept checking on the fact that I am the brand. So I need to not only put out stuff that says, this is the voiceover I've done, go watch it or whatever. I need to tell people this is something I connect with. So maybe it's anime, maybe it's gaming. And essentially how that has helped is, I received tremendous support from the anime community when they realized that I'm a fan. I'm also trying to revive anime. I started getting projects based on that. I put out the fact that I love gaming. Collaborated with somebody who's an avid gamer who has a huge fan base. That led to contacts with the gaming industry, and I recently did a video with a gaming company for a game. So these are now getting converted. I never anticipated, honestly speaking, them being converted into work, but it's happening and it's very real right now. It's happening completely organically through collaborations that I've done, through posts that I've put out. Somebody from a newspaper's read an Instagram post that has randomly flashed because somebody else was a fan. They called in. I've done webinars with them. That increased the fan base. Besides that, things like uh, collaborations, like I said. So some of the collaborations with the anime community has helped in terms of helping migrant workers go back home. We've been able to help an NGO raise some funds through them. So what happens is, once you get to a certain point, uh, doing nothing but posting about yourself and your work, which as a great artist I think everybody should do, because people are out there on the internet scouring for the work that you've done, looking for clips of you, finding those fan moments of theirs. And you'd be surprised the amount of information people have on you. You don't have that kind of data on you as well. So you owe it to your fans, I think, to have a platform where you can put out this work that they can access, this place that they can come to ask you things personally. Another advantage of doing this is, like I said, the internet is this huge ocean which connects everything to everybody. I've had responses from Hollywood actors who I've voiced for. I've been able to interact with international voiceover artists that I've been fans of. All this just due to Instagram. If it makes it easier for you, I have a Facebook page, I have a Twitter page, I have an Instagram page, but I don't use too much brain on it. I make one post and it's put out on all three platforms. So it's not like you have to go out of your way. It's going to take a lot of time. However, the most important thing that any content creator will tell you is consistency. You cannot be putting 7 posts in 7 days, then disappear for 3 months and then put out one post again. Put 2 posts a week, maybe one quality post a week, but put it consistently. That's what is going to keep making people come back to you. And all the brands that you can think of that you're voicing for are on social media. Why are you not on social media? Netflix interacts with you like a teenager would interact with you. Companies are going one-on-one conversing with you on. Why are you not doing it? I mean, what is your excuse to not do it? The problem is you, and this is something that hits hard to a lot of veterans and a lot of established artists, is we tend to come with a lot of baggage. In order to shed that baggage and say, you know what, I'm open to whatever it is. Why do I have to shed that baggage? Because I want to work on dream projects. I want to grow bigger. I want to be able to use this craft wherever possible, in terms of getting noticed by people who are not probably in my physical circle. If I continue to do what I always did, I will continue to get what I've always gotten. If I need to get more, I have to step out. So this is what I've been doing, and it's just a simple post, maybe twice a week, thrice a week. I started something called the 3 minutes to a better voice video series, which was just generally giving tips and suggestions, because a lot of people would question and ask me about wanting to enter the field, not understanding how to go about it. So I've started to share tips that I know of, or I've experienced, or I've learned from people like you, Sumanto, Asif, maybe, and I try to put it out there for people who can't come to Bombay, don't have enough finances, can't do the course right now, those kind of things. And I think that also has organically led to a lot of growth. So it's not something that I'm doing that is really special or really unique. However, what also tends to happen, or what is a negative thing or mistake that we might end up making, we shy away from investing in ourselves. You have to try and understand you are the brand. If I put out a general store or kirana ka dukan, I'm not going to start making soaps at home, or take salt from my house and go and put it out there and say ye bechta hu. I can't do. I have to invest. Investing in equipment, investing in maybe hiring a good designer for a website, investing in maybe getting a marketing team initially, at least, to understand how they work, what are the ways in which you can operate, because you can't be an expert at everything. So once you understand the nuances of it, maybe take over and do your own thing. But don't shy away from investment, because it takes money to make money, but it doesn't take 1 million to make another million. You use a little bit of money, but you use it smartly, it'll take you a long way. So I think those are the things that if you focus on, they'll amplify your results for sure.
I'll taking from your point, Sanket. I would say rather treat yourself like not even a brand. Treat yourself like a product. You are a product.
Maybe,
You are your
correct.
whatever you are delivering, whatever you are giving to your client. You are a product. You are a commodity. Treat yourself like a commodity. And once you treat yourself like a commodity, and if you are a good commodity, there will be
Yeah,
others who will invest on you and make you popular.
correct.
So others will come and make you popular. One thing, and second thing, again among all the tips which Sanket has given, very important ones about consistency on social media and all, there is one more thing I would like to add. Refrain yourself from negativity. Refrain yourself
Yeah,
from hatred. Social
yeah,
media is full of that. You
correct.
definitely will have your opinion on that. Don't show your opinion on
Correct.
social media. Social media is
Yeah,
not to show your opinion. Because,
yeah,
see, if I'm just giving you an example, if I like X, you like Y, and
yeah,
you are an artist and you are to promote your Y, you are bashing my X, even if you're a good artist, I'll
I'm
somehow,
not going to. Yeah,
I'm not going to call you because
yeah,
ideologically I'm not. So
yeah, compatible
fight,
with it.
don't
True.
fight the ideological battles on your
Correct.
सोशल मीडिया. आप आर्टिस्ट हैं, आर्टिस्ट का काम होता है सिर्फ प्यार बांटना, आर्टिस्ट का काम होता है सिर्फ पॉजिटिविटी बांटना और कुछ नहीं.
Correct.
आप वही कीजिए अपने काम के थ्रू. जस्ट स्प्रेड पॉजिटिविटी, स्प्रेड लव, not only in
Correct.
these pandemic times but across the year, all the time.
Yeah,
That is what you are
yeah,
supposed to do, because that
yeah.
also shows your personality. That
True.
also shows for a director and a producer कि यार ये बंदा अच्छा है, इसके साथ काम किया है ऐसा.
Correct.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So
How
that
true.
is
How beautifully put, Shumanto and Sanket. You absolutely opened the Pandora's box for everyone, and you gave everyone such beautiful, practical tips and insights
Yeah,
into investing in yourself as a brand, or
yeah,
like Shumanto said, as a product, and how critical it is to invest and think of yourself like a business, like any other business. You can't make money unless you are ready to also put in some money at least
put in
to set
some
the
money.
ball
Yeah,
rolling. And very beautifully you set out your entire social media journey. And obviously, you're being very modest, but in saying that that you didn't put in much put too much mind or effort. But the good thing is that all your entire social media, the entire journey has been such that it's a win-win proposition, which is what I call a very healthy way of marketing and branding yourself,
yeah,
wherein you are not only putting yourself out into the world for them to see who you are and to showcase your talent, but you're also giving so much to people who are aspiring artists. So, like you spoke about the 3 minute, 15 minute
Yeah.
to a better voice, and it's such a beautiful series. And you, like I was telling you yesterday on the phone, that it's like a workshop, like a course, like a tutorial. So now it depends on each individual how much they can grasp from it
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
how much they can profit. So I call this very healthy marketing and healthy branding, where there is a win-win proposition. So which is amazing. So I want to just take this minute to say hi to all the people who have greeted us from the very beginning: Aditya Kumar, Shashwat, Archana Dikshit, Richa Sutradhar. Um, thank you, everyone. Eon Stories, Abhijit Deshmukh, Pramod Patil, Swagata Majumdar Bhattacharya, The Character World, Divyesh Vijayakar, and
Shagota, we have worked together.
oh, really, really, really. Swagata. Lovely. She says, Shumanto da, I have learned so much from you. He's a wonderful singer too. Yes, we know that now. And everyone saying, hi, Sanket sir, and hello, Sanket sir, and a lot of people, have been showering a lot of love and and Sajid and Ashish Bimsaria, Piyush Kumar. Vineet Mahajan says it's a great combination of stalwarts. Great to see and hear from all of you. Shumanto is a great person, says Zubin Zalak. Tuma Sarvana Maza Namaskar, says Abhijit Kesarkar. तुम्हाला पण आमचा नमस्कार. I hope that's right, Sanket. Abhijit Deshmukh and Ashish Roy says, how should a new talent market himself? Ashish, I hope you're doing well. And we spoke about that, I guess. I think we've literally had a masterclass on how voice artists should market themselves and brand themselves. Soni Thakkar says, what simple yet profound tips, Sanket. And
Thank you.
Deepak Chaparia has sent his love and Yushain, Jim, Archana Dave. Oh boy, this is Amish Shah says radio ads की voice casting के बारे में कुछ बताइए. So maybe we can talk about that for a minute. And Milind Kumar Rathod, Gaurav Nayak, Poonam Apte, Prashant Tomar, and the list goes on and on. And Swati ji, Swati Subramaniam, how sweet. Swati ji कह रही हैं, सॉरी ये सारी बातें हिंदी में भी होनी चाहिए, हम सब इंग्लिश नहीं समझते. बिल्कुल स्वाति जी, बट आई थिंक हम हिंदी इंग्लिश दोनों में बात कर रहे हैं. सो आई होप कि वो कंसर्न नहीं हो आपका, क्योंकि हम हिंदी इंग्लिश दोनों में बात कर रहे हैं, तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. And Abhinav Sharma, who himself is a lovely voice artist, says, thank you very much indeed. Shaktiraj Singh Chauhan, and blah, 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 blah. So, and most of the questions, the reason why I did not really, pick up a particular question is क्योंकि ज़्यादातर जो question थे वो इसी को लेकर थे कि how should a new voice artist market himself, market कैसे करना चाहिए, काम कैसे मिले. तो आई थिंक हमारा जो पिछले 1 सवा घंटे से हम बात कर रहे हैं उसमें हमारा ज़्यादा रुझान इसी चीज़ पर था कि आप पहले तो आप अच्छे से काम सीखें, और अगर आप काम अच्छा जानते हैं या आप काम अच्छा सीख गए हैं तो फिर खुद को मार्केट करने के बहुत जरिए हैं. आई थिंक शुभांत और संकेत ने बहुत थ्रेडबेयर जिसको कहते हैं पूरी तरह से उधेड़ दिया इस पूरे सब्जेक्ट को कि किस किस तरीके से चाहे वॉइस सैंपल्स बनाना हो, चाहे खुद को सोशल मीडिया पे मार्केट करना हो. इनफैक्ट संकेत वेंट टू द एक्सटेंट ऑफ गिविंग यू लिटरली ऑपरेशनल टिप्स के किस तरह से कंसिस्टेंटली आपको सोशल मीडिया पे अपना काम डालना चाहिए. अगर काम आपने नहीं किया है तो कुछ काम बनाइए, क्योंकि बहुत सिंपल सी बात है. अगर आप इफ वी फाइंड यू interested in this craft, only then we will be interested in you. I think it's this is how it works. You need to be interesting for us to be interested. The good thing is कि हमारी इंडस्ट्री में ना नेपोटिज्म की कोई जगह है, ना कोई कास्टिंग काउच की जगह है. बहुत ही साफ काम है. आप किसी के भी भाई भांजे भतीजे हों, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. You are what you are for us, how you perform in front of the microphone. So that way, this is one of the most glorious crafts जहाँ पर सिर्फ आपका काम बोलता है. और हाँ, आज का सेशन जरूर इस चीज को लेकर था कि आप अगर अच्छा काम जानते हैं तो क्या करें जिससे कि हम आपके काम को सुन सकें. एंड हाउ टू मार्केट एंड ब्रांड योरसेल्फ. So I think that more or less sums up the entire session. Sanket, why don't you give us your final remarks in terms of your comments or observations about a session like this, or how important is it to have such conversations?
Um, so I think I also learned a lot of new things from the perspective of a producer, which helps me refine what I need to do in terms of approaching new producers as well. What I would suggest for not only somebody who's trying to enter the industry, but also somebody who's completely experienced, maybe has 10, 20 years in his kitty, is to treat yourself as a very valuable product, is to treat yourself as somebody who is potentially a newcomer. What that enables you to do is take that extra effort, take that extra step, shed your inhibitions, shed your ego, shed whatever baggage that you may be carrying into selling yourself as a premium product. uh, and by that I mean putting your best work out there, putting your best face out there in terms of being the best version of yourself. And then it will take, not expecting overnight success. Honestly speaking, even if I had 128,000 followers today, it would not translate into me being a successful voiceover artist. That is not how it works. Don't translate social media success to work success. That is the completely different things. um, so not expecting overnight success, and consistently working at your craft regardless of whatever stage you might have reached in your profession, is how more people will discover you, more people will look up to you, more people will call on to you for work. And that is, I think, the principle that I follow. I think that's worked out well for me, and I think it'll work out well for everybody if taken seriously.
Lovely, fantastic. Shimanto.
फर्स्ट थिंग फर्स्ट, अगेन अगेन मैं एक ही बात पे इंसिस्ट करूंगा कि आपने किसी प्रोडक्ट को बहुत बहुत ज़्यादा खर्चा करके मार्केटिंग किया, उसके बाद ग्राहक जब मॉल में गया या दुकान में गया, उसको शेल्फ में माल नहीं मिला, सो योर होल मार्केटिंग हैज़ गॉन फॉर अ टॉस. तो जो मैं जिस चीज़ को लेके मैं बहुत 1 घंटे से पिछले इंसिस्ट किए जा रहा हूँ कि क्राफ्ट पे काम कीजिए, मेहनत कीजिए, खर्चा नहीं तो एफर्ट को खर्च कीजिए, वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. क्राफ्ट को सीखिए.
How wonderful.
एंड दिस काइंड ऑफ सेमिनार्स, दर्पण, यू आर डूइंग अ फैंटास्टिक वर्क, क्योंकि ये अपॉर्चुनिटी है बहुत सारे ऐसे न्यू कमर्स के लिए, इवन एग्जिस्टिंग जो वॉइस ओवर आर्टिस्ट हैं उनके लिए भी, कि वो समझे. बीच में जैसे संकेत ने बोला कि जो हमारे पुराने लोग हैं या जो ऑलरेडी एस्टैब्लिश्ड आर्टिस्ट हैं, वो समहाउ लथार्जिक से हो गए हैं क्योंकि चल रही है दुकान. बट ये समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है कि हमारे उसमें बिजनेस में एक टर्म होता है रेलेवेंस, स्पेशली मीडिया में, क्रिएटिविटी में एक टर्म होता है रेलेवेंस, कि आप आज रेलेवेंट है कि नहीं. अगर आप आज रेलेवेंट नहीं है तो आप कल आपको भुला दिया जाएगा बहुत जल्दी. तो इसलिए वो रेलेवेंट होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. वो सब, और ये इस तरह का जो सेशन है, ये मेरे ख्याल से उन सभी हम जैसे लोगों को, जो हम 15-20 सालों से काम कर रहे हैं, हम जैसे लोगों के लिए भी ये है कि एक आई ओपनर है कि नहीं, थिंग्स आर हैपनिंग दिस वे, थिंग्स आर चेंजिंग, चीज़ें बदल रही हैं, इंडस्ट्री बदल रहा है, डायनामिक है, तो हमको उसी हिसाब से अडेप्ट करना पड़ेगा अपने आप को भी. हम
evolve or be left behind. I think that's what it is.
बिल्कुल. या तो वक्त के साथ चलिए, आप वक्त के साथ चलेंगे तो अमिताभ बच्चन बनेंगे, नसरुद्दीन शाह बनेंगे. इट्स वेरी सिंपल. वो वक्त के साथ चलते हैं, इसलिए आज भी रेलेवेंट है.
Correct.
What's so beautiful, Sumanto, I think these are literally pearls of wisdom जो आपने towards the जो closing कर रहे हैं सेशन की. This is so beautiful. Yeah, and mind you, ये सिर्फ एक philosophical बात नहीं है जो शिमांतो कह रहे हैं. ये एक हकीकत है, एक सच्चाई है कि अगर आप समय के साथ बदलेंगे, खुद को अडेप्ट करेंगे और मार्केटिंग और ब्रांडिंग को लेकर खुद के एटीट्यूड में एक जागरूकता लाएंगे, तो यू विल रिमेन रेलेवेंट. मेरे पास एक क्लासिक एग्जांपल है. शिमांतो ने अमिताभ बच्चन की बात की. हमारी इंडस्ट्री में मेरे जो बच्चन साहब है वो हैं हरीश निमानी जी, जो अपने 70s में हैं, आज भी उतने ही रेलेवेंट हैं जितने महाभारत जब टेलीकास्ट होता था उस समय थे. आज भी उतना ही काम कर रहे हैं, टेक्नोलॉजी को उन्होंने बहुत खूबसूरती से अडॉप्ट किया है और खुद को अडैप्ट किया है। तो अगर वो मुझे याद है कि पिछले साल इंडिया वॉइस फेस्ट जब हमारा हुआ था और पहले जो इंडिया वॉइस फेस्ट अवार्ड्स हुए थे, आप विश्वास नहीं करेंगे, सबसे पहली जो 2 एंट्रीज़ आई थी, वो हरीश भिमानी की थी। द पॉइंट इज़ उन्होंने एक बहुत प्यारी लाइन कही, मैंने कहा सर आप तो एक लेजेंड है, आप तो अवार्ड्स से परे हैं, आप अवार्ड से ऊपर हैं। उन्होंने कहा नहीं दर्पण, उन्होंने कहा प्रभु को भी प्रशंसा चाहिए। तो ये मुझे बात बड़ी गज़ब की लगी। उन्होंने कहा भगवान को भी प्रशंसा चाहिए और मुझे क्यों नहीं चाहिए? मुझे अपने काम के लिए आज भी मुझे आई नीड दैट स्टैम्प ऑफ अप्रूवल फ्रॉम माय इंडस्ट्री। And that is such a small little incident, but it speaks volumes about how much importance you give to your own branding, to your own self, to your own, relevance. So I think we could not have had a better 1 hour spent, 1 hour 26 minutes to be
Wow.
precise. इससे बेहतर 1.5 घंटे हिंदुस्तान की वॉइस इंडस्ट्री की जो वॉइस आर्टिस्ट हैं उनकी मार्केटिंग और ब्रांडिंग की अहमियत को लेकर मुझे नहीं लगता हम इससे बेहतर वक्त बिता सकते थे एंड मेरे पास आप दोनों को थैंक करने की आपका धन्यवाद करने के लिए शब्द कम है पर मेरे पास एक चीज है जो शायद आपको खुश करेगी क्योंकि जब कुछ अच्छा होता है तो हम कहते हैं कुछ मीठा हो जाए तो आप दोनों के लिए ये शुगर
Oh,
मीडियाज के
Oh, how sweet!
कस्टमाइज्ड
Thank you so much,
बॉक्स
Darpan.
ऑफ चॉकलेट से आप दोनों को मैं हमारे ऑफिस से हम आपको सोमवार तक विल
अब
सेंड यू
तुमने हैम्पर वैम्पर रखना शुरू कर दिया है स्लोली बिकमिंग अ कॉफी विद करण दर्पण.
ये दिस इज आवर वर्जन ऑफ कॉफी विद टी विद दर्पण आई गेस
tea with Darpan on a
No, but in
Starbucks
all
mug.
honesty, thank you so much for having me. Both of you are somebody I look up to in terms of work, in terms of how to present myself, and to to even share a dais with the two of you is something of an immense privilege for me. So thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much,
No,
Sumanto.
it was really
Pleasure.
nice. This session was a lot of things I've learned from Sanket today. It's really it was an eye opener for me also. और एक चीज और कि I'll end my whole thought into one thing, most important thing, bigger than a good artist. It's important to be a better human being. Be a good human being. You will be noticed. People really like. We need good people. Trust me. We need good people more than anything. अच्छे अच्छे इंसान रहेंगे सब कुछ अच्छा होगा.
हाउ
जी.
लवली ये आपने एकदम सेज संत वाली एडवाइस दी है और क्या है जितनी भी फिलोसॉफिकल हो मगर बात करोड़ रुपए की बात है थैंक यू सो मच बोथ ऑफ यू इट हैज बीन एन
Thank you
एब्सोल्यूट
so much.
delight and honor and thank you once again for loving and supporting this initiative and I hope to see you sometime soon on the other side and everyone let's say bye to Sanket and Shimanto bye bye.
Bye bye, guys.
Bye
Thank you
bye.
so
Bye bye,
much.
guys.
Thanks a lot for
Thanks
having
for
us.
being.
So this was an amazing hour and a half spent with two brilliant minds from the voice industry, Shumanto Ray and Sanket Mhatre. And what an invigorating, insightful, और बड़ी जागरूकता वाला ये सेशन रहा. Thank you so much everyone. आप सब हर हफ्ते दर हफ्ते हमारे साथ जुड़ते हैं. I hope आने वाले हफ्तों में भी आप जुड़ेंगे. बल्कि मैं चाहूंगा, there's a small request. If you can, spread the word about these sessions with your friends. You could probably simply ask, you could simply go to the Sugar Mediaz page from your Facebook profile, and on the right side, you will see a invite friends का बटन और अपनी प्रोफाइल से अगर आप शुगर मीडियाज की पेज पर जाएं और इनवाइट फ्रेंड्स टू लाइक दिस पेज का बटन दबाएं और अपने सारे दोस्तों को शुगर मीडियाज की पेज को लाइक करने की रिक्वेस्ट भेजें तो आई थिंक स्पेशली जो दोस्त आपके जो कॉलीग्स आपके वॉइस इंडस्ट्री से जुड़े हुए हैं तो आई थिंक as a platform, as a voice industry platform, we'll be able to reach out to more and more people all over India. और मेरी इच्छा है कि हिंदुस्तान में जितने भी वॉइस एक्टिंग के एंथुजियास्ट्स हैं चाहे वो established artists हो चाहे aspiring artists हो हम सबको इस प्लेटफॉर्म पर लाना चाहते हैं so I think this way the more and more people like the page and connect with us on our Sugar Media's Facebook and Instagram or YouTube more people will know about these sessions and I hope we can continue to bring such interesting sessions in weeks to come. अगले हफ्ते फिर से लौटूंगा एक बहुत ही अच्छे, interesting, innovative और insightful session के साथ. तब तक के लिए इजाजत दीजिए. और आप लोगों को ये पसंद आया? This is an amazing Sugar Mediaz branded box, जिसमें box of chocolates, जिसको हम कहते हैं sugar box of chocolates. और हमारे जो आज के 2 पैनलिस्ट थे, उनको ये बॉक्स ऑफ चॉकलेट्स भेंट किया जाएगा. और अगर आप चाहते हैं कि आपको भी ये शुगर मीडियाज की चॉकलेट्स मिले, तो हमारे साथ जुड़े रहिए. आने वाले हफ्तों में वी आर गोइंग टू हैव सम इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्टेस्ट्स एंड गिव अवेज, एंड वी विल हैव सम मोर फन. सो अगले हफ्ते तक पकौड़े खाओ, बेला चाओ.